Hi everyone, welcome to our chocolate cake class. And in today's video, I'll be showing you everything that you need and step-by-step procedure to make it a moist and a perfect chocolate cake. The things you'll be needing for your chocolate cake are you need your flour, you need your flour, your cocoa powder, sugar, sugar, you need this baking soda, this is buttermilk, this vegetable oil, have two eggs in here. Okay. So before you do anything, make sure to measure all your ingredients out. Now we have flour in here. Added salt also to this place. Then this is the baking soda, which we are just going to sieve into the flour. Sieve into the flour. Then you sieve your cocoa powder into the flour as well to mix. So that's it. When you sieve into the flour, you mix together. So that's it. That's the dry ingredients. You mix the dry ingredients together and you set it aside. Now we have the sugar, we have the egg, we have the buttermilk, we have the oil. So you get your mixing bowl. Your sugar goes into your mixing bowl. Your sugar goes into your mixing bowl. Then your egg, two eggs for this recipe. We added the eggs into the mixing, into the sugar. So what you need to do is to use your arms and combine. And this is what you're looking for. Chocolate cake is a very easy cake. And so it really does not take time. When you're mixing it, you just mix it until it is ready, until it is well mixed. Also, take note that there is need for flavor. I'm using vanilla flavor. You can decide to use chocolate flavor. So after now, you add the oil. Pour in the oil. So after adding the oil, you add 1 teaspoon of flavor. And then two because it's half teaspoon. Alright. So you mix for it to be well incorporated. Now you might be wondering what this one is doing here. This is vinegar. And I told you this is buttermilk. So what I did, I measured the milk and added vinegar. So to every 1 cup of milk, you add 1 tablespoon of vinegar to get your buttermilk. So every 1 cup of milk, you add 1 tablespoon of vinegar to get your buttermilk. So that is how we came about this buttermilk. So you mix the oil into the sugar and egg mixture until it is well combined. Mind you, our oven is being preheated already. See, it is well combined already. So we can now go in with our flour. You can actually add everything into the mixture at it, but it's not much. So you mix. Just before everything goes in completely, you add half of the buttermilk and you continue mixing. Just before it's fully incorporated, you add the final batch. That's it. Then there's still one more ingredient left to go into this batter, boiling water. Okay, like I said, I'm sure you can see the smoke from this water. Okay. Well, just came from the fire, so it's very hot. It's boiling actually. So when you're sure that everything is well combined, then you go in with the boiling water. That's the last thing you add to this mixture. See, see the texture you're looking for. Then you go in with the boiled water and then together. Mix, 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 mix. As a matter of fact, at this stage, some persons use sieve to make sure that their batter comes out very smooth. But I don't do that most times because I'm very sure that butter is smooth. Yes, if you want to do that, you can use this kind of sieve. Go place it over your pan and pour the butter into it and everything together. But I'm speaking that I actually don't do that. So in case you see the doing it until it's wrong, okay? It's also the right thing to do if you feel like doing this. So this is it. This is what our batter looks like. Very rolling. This is it. Can you see? Can you see this batter? This is not a brownie. This is chocolate cake. This is not brownie. All right. So I'm using 2 6 inches I'm just going to pour the quantity I need into them and then bake it. That's Take note that this pan is lined with parchment paper. I grease the pan after greasing, then I use a parchment paper to line it instead of spraying with flour, the base especially. This is because most times chocolate cake is because of how moist it is, it becomes very difficult to come out from the pan. So that's the reason I always do that. All right. So we are done with the mixture. It's inside the pan already. So the next thing, we put it in the oven. Take note that you have to preheat your oven in order for the oven to be hot before you put the cake into it. Now, when you put the cake into the oven, it means that the cake can start baking immediately. It won't just be sitting down there and cooling, if you understand. So it is always good for you to preheat your oven. So let's put it in the oven. Welcome back. Our cake is ready and this is the result. So see, it's still very hot. Still very. So the recipe, this basic recipe that I gave to you, see what you can get from it. Okay, so let's bring it out from the pan so you can see what it is. Still very hot, still hot. Wow. You see, I told you it's always very soft. That's why this part almost pulled out. So we'll just take out the parchment paper. Okay. And remember, it's still very hot. So you might want to leave your cake to cool down a bit before you bring it out from the pan to avoid it from messing from scratching. Okay. See. Ooh. So you see the difference. So allow it to cool down. If you're not allowing it to cool down, make sure you run it through the sides before taking it out. So this is it. Can you see our cake, our chocolate cake? I'm just going to divide it into two. So this cake is still very good. See? Now, because it's hot, it's this one broke. Take note of the way I opened this one, okay? That's why it's still intact. So don't angle your cake when they are hot. Take note of that and always make sure that it cools down properly, at least not to the extent that it's very cold. It comes to a warm temperature before you remove and cover it and keep okay. So it brings us to the end of this video. I hope you learned something. I hope you'll be trying it. I hope you will be trying it. Please do try it and ask me any question that you feel like asking and I'll answer you. Thank you very much.